Okay, guys, hang on. Let me put you onto something. Muslims watching this, you need to know this because this is the biggest life hack, and I've been preaching this on TikTok, on Instagram, but I don't feel like people are taking it seriously enough. Listen, if you're not making istighfar a regular part of your daily habit, you are screwing yourself over. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah. I am a board-certified physician associate. I'm a trauma coach, and my YouTube channel is all about my self-improvement journey. If you're interested in any of that, then please like this video and subscribe for more. There is a side of self-improvement we don't talk about, which is Islamic self-improvement, and it's how do we utilize the actual details of our religion to further ourselves in deen. And there needs to be a balance. There's a part of our deen that's very ritualistic. It's very spiritual. It's the dua and the recitation of Quran. It's spending time, intimately with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our salah. And then there's a part of our deen that is so incredibly practical. And I feel like as a global community, we haven't done that side justice. And there are so many people that can benefit from it. So I'm going to try my best to make my channel one of the channels that delivers that practical side without abandoning the spiritual aspect, which is also extremely important. Istighfar, for those of you guys who don't know, is the act of asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. So it is the actual saying astughfirAllah, right? AstughfirAllah, I seek your forgiveness, ya Allah. I ask for your forgiveness. Some people might say astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Some people might say astaghfirullah al-azim. Point being is it is istighfar. It is the act of asking Allah for forgiveness, and it is so important for a multitude of reasons, and I am going to jump right into those reasons. Number one, first and foremost, let's start plain and simple, right? You go back to elementary Islamic education. At one point we were born, at another point we hit puberty and we start being accountable for the things that we do that are sinful, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is keeping track of those things. On the Day of Judgment, that track sheet is going to be presented to us. In the Quran, it literally says what we are going to say. If we receive our book in our right hand and we're like, yay, alhamdulillah, I'm so happy, that means I attained Allah's mercy, through the good deeds that I've done, and He's forgiven my sins. And on the other side of it is we're going to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we receive in our left hand, we're going to say, ya laytani, I wish that I'd never received this at all, because that is an indication. It's like your pass-fail, right? It's an indication that unfortunately you did not pass the test of this life. So if every single day is a blank slate, what are we doing to erase our score sheet from yesterday? And istighfar is a way to do that. When we are making it a habit to say astaghfirullah, we are asking and seeking forgiveness for things that we might have done knowingly, but also for all the sins that we've done that we didn't even think about. Because think about it. How often do things just completely slip your mind? That's actually Shaitan's biggest trick. He's really good at it. Because if he can get us to forget the things that we've done, then we're not going to ask for forgiveness about it. But the hack is, if you make a general istighfar, like it's a part of your daily thing, Allah's forgiving you for the things that you've done that you did knowingly and unknowingly. And you know what? You can throw that into your istighfar too. Ya Allah, please forgive me for the sins that I've committed knowingly and unknowingly, publicly and privately, and so on. Number two is istighfar in particular is a very powerful tool to access to this. The Quran actually talks about this, and I don't have the verses memorized, but I'll link them below, inshallah. Or you know what? I'm gonna look it up for you right now. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So this is from Surah Nuh, and these are the verses. It starts with verse 10, right? And Nuh is saying to his people, seek your Lord's forgiveness, for He is truly most forgiving. Istaghfiru rabbukum innahu kana ghaffara. He will shower you with abundant rain. Check this, abundant rain. Supply you with wealth and children, and give you gardens as well as rivers. What is the matter with you that you are not in awe of the majesty of Allah? Now, Nuh alayhi salam as a prophet, and even though he wasn't the prophet sent to our time, he's still a prophet. And so we take the lessons and things that the warnings that he gave to his people are the same warnings that the Prophet alayhi salam gave to us. And the scholars, when breaking down the meaning of this verse, very clear cut, istighfar will lead to an increase in rizq, whether it's financial risk, whether it's risk in your family and your children. When it comes to rain, that is fruition, right? Rain is an essential part of living and health. It is an essential part in harvest. It's how we get our food. And then there are other verses that talk about different aspects of the way istighfar increases risk. But the point being that I'm trying to get at it is this is a way to literally increase your risk in your lifetime, and it's so easy. And it's when you think about it, you guys, it's not very difficult to understand. We live in a physical physical world, but there is a metaphysical reality. And if you're Muslim, by the virtue of being Muslim, you recognize this metaphysical reality. You recognize that angels exist, that jinn exist. We recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can intervene and cause things to happen. We recognize that there are good deeds and bad deeds, and these things affect the way that the world operates. And these are all realities the Quran discusses. And so the metaphysical reality of this is that istighfar is such a powerful tool in the metaphysical effect that it literally opens up doors for you in your physical reality. So take advantage of your istighfar. And then number 3 is it brings closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And like, all things considered, even if there was no benefit of increase of risk, even if there was, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have to give us in our physical reality for something to be virtuous. But with that being said, like, it is out of His generosity that He gives us both, and He allows us to be close to Him, and that is the greatest gift, because that closeness to Him allows us to be close to Him in the dunya and in the akhirah, inshallah, by His mercy. And so let it like open up a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you. Let that istighfar cleanse your heart. There is a hadith that basically describes that the metaphorical heart of a human, not the physical heart that pumps blood, but the metaphysical heart, which is the seat of faith in our being, gets dirty. It is covered by the filth of sins, and istighfar is a way to wash away that filth. And when we wash away that filth, what's left? There's this heart that is now open to receive from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's open to receive Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy and His guidance and His closeness. And I guess I'll just talk about kind of what my istighfar routine is, right? So as a rule, I try, and when I'm going to sleep, as long as I'm not like so exhausted that I fall asleep in the middle of it, but I try to make istighfar 100 times. Recently, I've tried to up that goal, and I won't say what I tried to up it to, but I tried to up that goal. When I started making istighfar, a lot of things happened that very much represented an opening of risk. When I started making istighfar a routinely part of my nighttime routine, that was very repetitive, I started seeing manifestations of increase in risk in different ways. First and foremost, this is actually right around the time that I met my husband. So that very much is an obvious indication of this. Secondly, opportunities started coming to me that I wouldn't have anticipated. Third, my health got much better. And alhamdulillah, we don't see health as a risk, but as a physician associate who practices medicine and sees patients and treats their health conditions, it is such a blessing to be healthy. And I was dealing with different chronic health issues, and this is why my self-improvement journey is so important, because I saw the way that it affected every aspect of my life, from my relationship with Allah, my relationship with my family, my relationship with myself, my health condition. But I was having these chronic health conditions. I was experiencing migraines, I was experiencing brain fog and fatigue, and it's improved so significantly, alhamdulillah. Caveat here, if you're struggling with any of these, please go see your medical provider so they can make sure that it's not something sinister going on, and they can help you. We have a lot of tools. I'm not someone who believes in like woo science. I practice evidence-based medicine, and it's really important to not abandon that. It is a blessing that we have access to that. And then there are other things that are outside of the realm of medicine that are extremely beneficial that you can also do. And then after getting married, you know, they say marriage is actually something that brings risk, and the Prophet tells us that. It's another and so it's kind of hard to tell, is the risk that I'm experiencing in marriage because of the risk that comes with marriage, or the risk of istighfar, or is it compounded? I don't know. I can't tell you, but I would like to think that it's both. And it's just the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sustaining us during this time. I'm still in the interview process at this point in time. So you can imagine I went from making a 6-figure salary to currently not having an income. And my husband's in school right now. He's working, but he's working part-time. And so there's a bit of anxiety in the sense of like, we don't have a full-on income right now that we're living off of. But then subhanAllah, my coaching company starts making money. And by the way, if you're interested in coaching, my trauma group coaching program is open. The applications are open. Link is in the bio. Information is down in the bio. This is for Muslim women who are struggling with trauma. It is a 10-week program. It's awesome, you guys. And I'm not just saying that. It genuinely has transformed the lives of my clients. It's the same methods that I use to help in my healing journey from trauma. Check it out. Leave it in a comment here below. But moving on. Point being is that there were other means of how it was coming into our lives. When we had our wedding, for example, the fact that the wedding, which was a beautiful wedding, alhamdulillah, was so inexpensive, and the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cut costs, like I made a lot of dua about this because I knew when we were getting married that we were going to be in this financial situation. And I mean, first of all, Like the deals that fell into my lap when I was scheduling, booking things for the wedding, absolutely insane. Like truly absolutely insane. It was such a blessing, alhamdulillah. And just the fact like the amount that we received in gifts basically covered the cost of the wedding. So it was such a huge, tremendous blessing. There were certain things that went wrong that we thought would have ended up being things that cost us money, like the place we were supposed to stay after the wedding. There ended up being something that happened to the water heater, and we weren't able to stay there. And it ended up being that we, as a result, got a free stay at a hotel. And so that was a cost of a few $100s that completely, it was not our cost to bear anymore. Like it was a blessing in disguise. But that's all that I have for you guys in terms of istighfar. Don't sleep on it. Don't ignore these things. I guess if I just had one point, right? I'm turning 29. I know I look a lot younger, but I'm turning 29 years old. And when I see the way my relationship has changed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one piece of advice that I feel like helped me throughout that time is when you hear about something that is beneficial and transformative and someone is really emphasizing it, and it's emphasized in the Quran and the Prophet ﷺ emphasized it, don't walk away from it. Try to figure out like how can you implement it in your life, even if it's a little bit. You don't have to start with this expansive 1,000 istighfar every single night. Some people do that, and that's absolutely wonderful. That's incredible. But start somewhere. Make it a habit. Make it a point in your life that you actually go back to, right? 1% better every single day, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this type of Islamic self-improvement content, then please join the community, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, engage with the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.